Good morning, Grace Church. Happy Wednesday. It's a new day, so it's time for a new devotion. And just this morning, I was reflecting on all of the past devotions that I've done, and I cannot believe that we are in now, I think, week 26 of doing devotions, which is just mind-blowing. But I'm so grateful that the Lord has just remained faithful through this time. It was so nice to see a lot of you physically on Sunday. So that was a huge blessing. It felt very surreal, and I was just really blessed to be able to lead our congregation in worship, and I look forward to the Sundays to come where we can continue to worship together. The devotion that I want to share today is from the book Just Like Jesus by Max Lucado. It's a book that I've had for years, and I read a lot of it. I don't think I finished it. I'm not a book reader, for those who don't know. But I read a lot of it a few years ago, and I don't know why, but I randomly picked it up the other day, and I just started reading it, and I'm going to work through and I'm going to read the whole thing, but it's a very good book. And I just want to read a small portion of it for you guys. It's just a metaphor. Apparently I'm really enjoying these metaphors, but they've just been really connecting with me where I'm at recently. So I'm just going to read it for you, and I'm just going to hope that the Lord will teach you and speak to you like he spoke to me when I read it. So it just says, when my daughter Jenna was a toddler, I used to take her to the park not far from our apartment. One day she was playing in the sandbox. As she was playing in a sandbox, an ice cream salesman approached us. I purchased her a treat, and when I turned to give it to her, I saw that her mouth was full of sand. Where I intended to put a delicacy, she had put dirt. Did I love her with dirt in her mouth? Absolutely. Was she any less my daughter with dirt in her mouth? Of course not. Was I going to allow her to keep the dirt in her mouth? No way. I loved her right where she was, but I refused to leave her there. I carried her over to the water fountain and washed out her mouth. Why? Because I love her. God does the same for us. He holds us over the fountain. Spit out the dirt, honey, our Father urges. I've got something better for you. And so he cleanses us of filth, immorality, dishonesty, prejudice, bitterness, greed. We don't enjoy the cleansing. Sometimes we even opt for the dirt over the ice cream. I can eat dirt if I want to, we pout and proclaim, which is true, we can. But if we do, the loss is ours. God has a better offer. He wants us to be just like Jesus. Isn't that good news? You aren't stuck with today's personality. You aren't condemned to grumpy dumb. Anyways, it's a made-up word that I can't pronounce. You are tweakable. Even if you've worried each day of your life, you needn't worry the rest of your life. So what if you were born a bigot? You don't have to die one. Where did we get the idea that we can't change? From whence comes statements such as, "It's just in my nature to worry," or I'll always be pessimistic. I'm just that way," or "I have a bad temper. I can't help the way I react." Who says? Would we make similar statements about our bodies? "It's just my nature to have a broken leg. I can't do anything about it." Of course not. If our bodies malfunction, we seek help. Shouldn't we do the same with our hearts? Shouldn't we seek aid for our sour attitudes? Can't we request treatment for our selfish tirades? Of course we can. Jesus can change our hearts. He wants us to have a heart like his. Can you imagine a better offer? And I just thought that this was really cool because I really felt like I needed to hear this today. I felt like I was a little bit grumpy, or I had a little bit of a bad attitude, and sometimes I just think, oh, well, this is just where I'm at, all the things on my agenda for the day, this is why I'm grumpy, and you almost like justify the bad attitude, or you justify where you're at. And I just know that the Lord is just so gracious, and he's so good to us, and he doesn't want us to even find the need to justify these bad attitudes or this behavior or whatnot. I love that it says, you aren't stuck with today's personality. I found so much joy and so much peace in that, knowing that it's a new day, it's a new time for a new attitude, and the Lord is so faithful to adjust our attitudes and align our heart with his when we surrender the things that are going on. So my prayer for you today is that you would recognize that the Lord does have ice cream for us. He intends good, and He wants us to allow Him to cleanse us of the dirt that's in our mouth. And He wants us to just desire Him more so that we would love Him more, so that we would just grow to have a heart like His. And my prayer is that my heart would be more like His each and every day. And I just pray that as a church family, we would just desire a heart that's like Christ. And so I pray that this brings encouragement to you today like it did to me. I know this morning I woke up with a little bit of a bad attitude, so I have just been praying that the Lord would just align my heart with His and just bless me with His grace and mercy today. And so I just pray the same thing for you. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I love you guys. Thank you, church family. Bye.